I had just moved into a small apartment on the edge of town. It was nothing special, but it was cheap, quiet, and far from the noise of the city, which is exactly what I wanted. The first few nights were peaceful, almost too peaceful, so much so that the silence itself felt heavy. I remember the second night vividly, because I woke up around 2 in the morning to what I thought was the wind rattling against the window, but it wasn't. It was too deliberate, too precise, like someone dragging something across the floor. My heart skipped a beat, and I told myself it was probably just the pipes settling. I had moved into an old building, and old buildings make strange noises, right? But something about that sound felt different. It felt intentional. I stayed frozen in bed, listening. The dragging noise came again, slower this time, as if testing me, creeping closer. I could barely breathe. My first instinct was to call someone, but I didn't want to make a sound. The footsteps, or whatever they were, stopped right outside my bedroom door. I could feel a presence, a heaviness that pressed down on me, and then I heard it. A whisper. Soft, almost impossible to hear, yet perfectly clear in the quiet of the room. It said my name, my own name. I was sure of it. No one knew I had moved in, no neighbors, no friends, nobody. Yet somehow, whatever was there knew me. My body froze, my heart raced, my mind screamed at me to get out of bed, but I couldn't move. I just lay there, listening, hoping it was a dream, but deep down, I knew it wasn't. Minutes passed, hours maybe, I don't know. Eventually, it stopped. Silence again. But I didn't sleep that night. I just stared at the ceiling, every nerve on edge, waiting for morning. The next day, I tried to convince myself it had been a nightmare or sleep paralysis. I told myself I was just stressed from the move. It had to be. That's what I kept repeating to myself. But when night fell again, I wasn't so sure. At precisely 2:13 a.m., I was awake and fully alert. The same dragging sound returned, closer this time, coming from the living room. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. Step, drag, step, drag, closer and closer. Then silence, and then the whisper again, louder, clearer, more confident, my name. I felt my blood run cold. I knew I had to do something. I decided to set up a small camera in the living room to see what was happening. I positioned it so that it would cover the main hallway and the living space. That night, I didn't turn off the lights, and I stayed awake, listening. The sound began again at 2:13 a.m. sharp, slow, deliberate dragging, and then silence. I wanted to move, to check, but I didn't. I just sat there, heart pounding, waiting. In the morning, I reviewed the footage. At first, everything seemed normal, but at exactly 2:13 a.m., the screen flickered. When it came back, there was a figure standing in the corner of the room. It was tall, unnaturally tall, its head almost touching the ceiling, and its body was wrong, twisted in impossible ways. There was no face, only darkness where a face should be, but I could feel its gaze, heavy and oppressive, as if it were staring right through the camera into my bedroom. Slowly, it tilted its head. Then it moved one step forward, dragging something behind it. Step, drag, step, drag. Each movement deliberate, each sound echoing in my mind long after it ended. It moved across the living room toward my bedroom, and then the screen went black. I sat there for hours, unable to move, staring at the blank screen. My body shook. My stomach was in knots. That thing had been inside my apartment, watching me, learning, waiting. I packed a bag immediately, grabbing only essentials, and left. I didn't look back. I didn't stop to think. I just had to get out. Outside, the early morning sun was beginning to rise, and I finally felt some relief, but I knew it wasn't gone. I had left everything behind, but whatever had been in that apartment still lingered in my mind. Weeks later, I stayed at a friend's place, trying to recover. But at night, in the quiet, I could still hear it. The dragging, the whisper, the feeling of being watched. Every night it seemed closer, more insistent, like it was tracking me. I told myself it was paranoia, but the sound was too real. I would wake in the middle of the night and hear footsteps outside the door, slow, dragging, deliberate, and sometimes, in the dead of the night, I could hear my name whispered softly, as if testing me, seeing if I would respond. I stopped answering the phone at night. I stopped going out alone, but none of it helped. It followed me, always in the corners, always in the shadows, waiting for the moment I felt safe to strike. Months passed, and I moved again, further from that apartment, further from that street, but the feeling never left me. I realized that it didn't need the apartment. It could follow me anywhere. The presence was tied to me, not to the place, and the thought made me sick. I tried everything, lights on, music playing, doors locked, even leaving notes for myself in the apartment, but it didn't matter. It found me, always. Step, drag, and the whisper, always my name, testing me, haunting me. I learned to live with it, sort of, but I could never forget the sound, the sensation of knowing something is just behind you, something inhuman, something patient. And in the quietest moments, when I am completely alone, I hear it again. Step, drag, and then softly, unmistakably, my name, closer than ever before. And I know it will never stop, not until it gets what it wants, and I will never be truly alone again.